Okay, this is the Unit 6 on interval dictation. In this unit, we will be adding minor sixths and major sixths to our intervals, which can be confused with minor thirds and major thirds. If you look, the minor sixth, of course, is the inversion of the major third, and the major sixth is the inversion of the minor third. And sometimes students will confuse the inversions of those intervals. So listen for that. But hopefully you're able to discern the overall size, because the sixths obviously are larger than the thirds. Let me play through the examples for comparison. The minor sixth above F in treble clef. Okay, some students hear that as the third and fourth notes of the entertainer. Okay. The minor sixth in bass clef, F down to A. Okay. The major sixth up in treble clef, E to C sharp. And the major sixth down in bass clef, G down to B flat. Okay. And listen for those and play through them. I would try to determine for yourself songs that you recognize that have those intervals. But again, the songs that I learned aren't necessarily songs you know, so work on your own song list, and if we need to get together, I can make some recommendations. Okay, there's the major sixth down. Comparing all that to the thirds, minor third up, we've heard before. The minor third down, B to D in bass clef. Okay, and the major third, F sharp to A sharp. And G to E flat. Okay, comparing harmonic intervals, treble clef, D to B flat, minor sixth. In bass clef, C to A, major sixth. Okay, the minor third in alto clef, G to B flat. And the major third in tenor clef, B to D sharp. Okay, so listen through those, make sure you can distinguish the difference between sixths and thirds, both minor and major. For our first set of intervals, we will only be listening for minor third, minor sixth, major sixth. Again, I'll play each of these once. You can repeat them as many times as you need. You hear them 5 times on an exam. So the first interval begins on E flat 4 in treble clef. The second interval begins on G3 in bass clef. Third interval begins on C sharp 4 in alto clef. Fourth interval begins on D flat 5 in treble clef. The last 2 intervals are harmonic intervals. In bass clef, the 5th example, G sharp 2 is the bottom pitch. And the last example of these, in tenor clef, A4 is the bottom pitch. Sorry, A3, below middle C, A3 is the bottom pitch. Okay, for the second set of intervals, we'll be listening for all the intervals that we have learned thus far: minor second, minor third, major third, perfect fourth, tritone, which can be spelled either as the augmented fourth or diminished fifth, perfect fifth, minor sixth, and major sixth, plus the octave. Okay, so the first of these in treble clef begins on F4. Second example begins on E3 in bass clef. The next example begins on D sharp 3 in alto clef. Fourth example begins on D5 in treble clef. Sorry. The last two intervals are harmonic. In bass clef, example 5, the bottom pitch is B2. And the last example in tenor clef, G flat 3 is the bottom pitch.